All right, good afternoon, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart, and today is Sunday, May 18th, and this is the stock trade ideas for the week of May 19th, 2014. All right, we have 7 stocks. Let me move this back out of the way for the moment. There we go. All right, so 7 stocks that we've got that we're going to take a look at. American Airlines, Diamond Offshore, those were 2 that we exited last week. One we got in, one we'd been in, but we exited trades. Both were profitable. And then we have Silver, Wheaton, Valero, CTRP, 3D Systems, and TRIP Advisor. And all 5 of those. So Silver, Wheaton, and Valero we had been in, and we're still in. And then these last 3 over here, CTRP, 3D Systems, and TRIP Advisors, we got into last week. So we're currently in 5, these 5 here. And let's go ahead and look at American Airlines. American Airlines we got into on this day here at around 37.07. Bought calls, and it continued to move up to the upside. And it hit our initial target that we had for price. And so we exited half of the position there. And it started to pull back. And I had a break-even stop on the second half. Now, one thing I'm doing on these trade ideas is that when you look at the trade ideas on the webpage, and I think I mentioned this, is that, you know, we're exiting at bids and we're buying at asks just to be conservative in terms of the trade idea prices that you're showing in here. So they're conservative. And so what I've done is, and the thing I don't like, what caught us on this is the bid and ask, the spread on the bid and ask on American Airlines on the options that are trading in here are $50 to $60 on that option. And they continue to keep it there, even though it had been open for an hour and a half, 2 hours. Sometimes in the first half hour, you get some wide spreads because the market makers are exposed to rapidly moving prices. They're doing cover their butts kind of thing, and they're not going to take the risk. So they're going to put the risk on anybody who wants to buy. So they widen the spreads. Well, as the stock calms down after sometimes 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half hour, sometimes an hour, then they tighten the spreads back up again. And many times you can see a lot more normal spreads. So you have to be careful sometimes in the very first, half hour of the day. And that all depends on the stock too. And if you're looking at a Facebook, it's highly liquid, and you can get some, great tight spreads on Facebook, for example. But American Airlines is not the case. So I will be removing American Airlines from a stock I'm watching to trade options on. I will not be doing that in the future. So FYI on American Airlines. So Diamond Offshore. Okay, Diamond Offshore is another one. On Friday the 15th, I saw this reversal bar develop late in the afternoon, and we got in with puts right before the close, right at about the closing price. And this reversal bar went to a higher high the last couple of days and then closed below the low the last 2 days. And I said, that looks like it might be able to do something. And I went with a very short term, went with Mays, which I usually don't do. There's about a week to expiration. And then we got actually another little reversal bar right in here on Wednesday. And then Thursday exited right down in here. Very nice profit on that. I think it was like 70, I can't remember what the profit was. It was pretty nice, 70, 75% or something like that. It's actually 3 trading days because we got in at the close and then we were in 1, 2, 3 and got out. Actually, where am I? Yeah, maybe it was 4 trading days. So anyway, that one turned out very nice for us. And Silver Wheaton is another one that we had been in prior to the beginning of last week, and we are still in this trade. We got in with puts here on the 7th, and it pulled back, did not hit our stop, and now it's reversed and it's going our way. The interesting thing about this is, I've got this big symmetrical triangle. You can see it's clearer now on a weekly chart. So you can see this here. And when you do the symmetrical triangle, the projection, if it's going to break down out of this down here, then you do a parallel line to this line and you project it from the beginning of the symmetrical triangle, and this is what you get. Now, the thing is, this is weekly bars. Okay, so this could take a while to get down here, especially if it moves like this. Now, if it moves like this, that'll be a different story. So we'll just have to wait and see how this decides to start playing out. But right now it's going our way, so can't complain. Okay, and now Valero is the next one that we've been in. We got in on the 9th at around 56.01 was the target entry price, I believe. Yeah, that's right around here. And we're down slightly. This has been actually kind of dogging it over the last, I mean, it kind of went sideways for 3-4 days in here. And now it's turning down a little bit. The reason we're kind of negative on this, or the reason this setup was looked at as negative, is because we had significant divergence on the indicators here, on the RSI and on the DI plus, the blue line in here, and on the demand index. They did not, none of these went to higher highs as the stock moved to higher highs. And then the other thing I noticed, let me blow it up, is that the trend on the volume over the last 2.5 or 2 months has been down. Okay, so the let me look at it right in here. I've got that little data window over there I can look at. The dotted line that you see in here, that is my 50-day simple moving average of the volume, just to kind of see how it's comparing and trading compared to the 50-day average. So about a 10-week volume average. And the average back in here was what, 8.8 million, 8.8, 8.9. And now it is 6.7. So pretty decent drop off in the volume. Well, the volume's dropping off while the stock price is going higher. That's never a good sign. And so now I'm watching this, and I'm expecting this to break this trend line is what I'm looking for. Okay, that's Valero. Now let's take a look at CTRP. CTRP, we got in with calls here at 50.08, so right about in here on this day. Okay, and if you remember correctly, I think this was a trade idea I had mentioned last Sunday, because this is the 9th, which is a week ago last Friday. So this is the way, this would have been the closing last bar on the chart last Sunday when we talked, okay? That I drew this dotted line in here. I said, this is where I think this thing's going to go. And so far, it's moving in the right direction. And it's kind of closed up here at the high for the week, almost on the high for the week. So that's very nice, given that the market, remember the market popped up Monday, Tuesday, then reversed back down. CTRP did not. Continue to push to the high side. Now we got the 10 crossing the 21. So things are starting to align, and hopefully they'll continue to move. I did draw this line here because if we get a break of this line, I think this thing is really going to pop. We'll have to see. So right now that is playing out very nicely. Okay, next one is 3D systems. 3D systems, we got puts on in here, and mainly because all the trend, 50 days down, 21 days down, the 10 is slightly below the 21. We got some action up above it, but yet the 10 was still below 21. So we bought puts on a break of the low of these last two bars here that were trading above the 10. And got in right here at 48.36. Now, unfortunately, we're just hanging right here. This is the close on Friday at 48.37, so right about where we entered. So we're going to watch. I'm expecting this to come down to around 40 or so. Now, here's why. Because when I look at this corrective action, we've had 5 big waves up, okay, on this stock move. I think we're now in a corrective action, and typically corrective moves will stay within parallel lines. Now, what you do is measure, because this is a zigzag, okay, you measure from the beginning of A to the end of A, and you take it back to the beginning of B, and right here at the 100% is where C equals A, okay, so in points. So A, B, C equals A at just slightly below 40. So my expectation is that this is going to break this trend line and pop on down here and hit to around 40 or 39. We'll have to see. That's what I'm playing out. So that's the play on 3D systems. Okay, the last one we're going to look at is Trip Advisors, and we got in with puts here on, what is this, the 14th. And again, we looked at, because the 10 was above the 21, we looked at I wanted to see it break the low of these last 2 days, but then I wanted to see it close below the 10, okay? And we got that. So when I started to see this thing about to close, that's when we jumped in, and now it's continued to push a little bit lower. I would like to see it continue to drop on down. This looks like a rising little wedge, perfect little bear market type rally, and that's typically when you see a lot of these little wedges like this. So we'll see if we can continue to get some follow through. That's what we're looking for on TripAdvisor. So, all right, that's it for this week. And everyone have a great Monday, Tuesday, and we'll keep you posted on these. And again, the details of all the trade ideas are on the Trade Ideas webpage. All you have to do is simply subscribe, fill out the form, start following Beyond the Chart, and get email updates. And you can also download the free the 5 Essentials PDF also that I've got as a free bonus. So, all right. Well, have a great Monday, Tuesday. Thanks for stopping by. This has been Joe for Beyond the Chart.